The Glock 19 Gen 3 is a great pistol. That is, until you tried your own hand at stippling your frame and ruined it on those 3 days that there were bad weather back in 2015. So now you can take your Safe Queen Glock 19 out of the safe and introduce it to the Glockstore GSX100 frame. The Glockstore GSX100 frame takes the slide from your neglected 19 Gen 3 and the fire control unit and delivers to you a gun that is a better frame than an OG Glock and takes 17 round mags, making a Gen 3 Glock 45. I'm David from the Humble Marksman channel. Are you ready? Stand by. So the Glockstore GSX100 frame takes all of the guts and the top end from your Glock 19. It is a bare frame that is going to be shipped to you, and it has to be transferred through an FFL because as far as the law is concerned, it is a gun, but it's sold as an incomplete gun, meaning that this gun's not modified, it just is completed with whichever parts that you choose to use on it. The GSX100 is unique in that it takes literally all the Glock Gen 3 19 parts that you would traditionally use on a 19 frame, but it accepts them in this 17 round format. That does mean that your 15 round Glock 19 magazines will not work on this frame, but you will get to use Glock 17 round magazines, which are very excellent. And that's really kind of the question is, does this take a Glock 19 and sort of elevate it into a more modern era of pistol? If you think about the shortcomings of the Glock 19 Gen 3, and it is a very mighty, very excellent pistol, I mean, we're not going to comment on the trigger because it's whatever trigger you decide to put in it. It's going to come down more to what the frame is actually like. If you want a bigger frame that you can get all of your fingers on, I actually prefer the 17 round frames on the Glock pistols. Then the GSX100 will get you covered there. And more importantly, just the sculpt of the grip. Glocks are called blocks for a reason by people who don't like them because they're pretty blocky feeling guns. The GSX100 actually improves that a good amount. The trigger guard has a very nice relief to it, letting the frame sit nice and low. The grip tang has a little bit more of an ergonomic sculpt to it with a little lip of a beaver tail, which makes slide bite just a little bit harder. Like I can try real hard and almost get filleted by the slide, but it's still an improvement over the Gen 3 frame. The grip texture is this fissured texture that feels almost like a Talon grip with like the sandpaper skateboard tape type feel. It's not quite that aggressive, but it is more aggressive than the Gen 3 17 texture. One thing that I like about the frame, but at the same time wish they had kind of taken a step further, was the thumb rest that they've introduced kind of mid-grip right there. This has to be on all the import guns due to ATF regulations for the scorecard for import points. This is a US made frame, so they don't have to do it, but it does kind of harken back to the OG Glock. But the little ridge that it puts on the frame is not quite as bad as it is on the OG. I do wish the grip texture extended further up the frame because that's where you really get a lot of purchase on the pistol, and having more traction would be welcome. Another kind of unique feature of the frame, and I'm not wild about because I like to use grip plugs, is they have kind of their own proprietary hole at the bottom of the grip, so a traditional grip plug isn't going to fit into the frame. The frame, while having a unique style trigger guard, will fit in all Glock 19 style holsters. Now I can't show you gun assembly stuff on YouTube, that's not allowed, but the pinholes on the frame were a little bit tight. So what I did, and I would recommend you do, is you take a metal punch and you just kind of wallow out the holes just a little bit to kind of ease them up so that the pins slide in a little bit easier. Or with one of the holes, I actually drove the pin through it, like through one side and out the other a few times, just to kind of loosen the holes up so that it was a little bit easier to get the pistol put together. So be ready with your armor's block and a mallet in case that does happen. Now, how I decided to put this gun together was actually a build and not a conversion from an earlier Glock 19. So I got a top end from the Glockstore. This is their basic Glock 19 with the black slide finish. And it's got some very nice serrations, and it's just a very understated look with just very minimal roll marks right there on the slide. I'm a big fan. It kind of has a stealth look to it. I'd love to tell you more about the GSX100, but first we have to acknowledge the sacred relationship between I, content creator, and you, the subscriber. I make world-class firearms content and you watch this content. You reflect on the Tiger King and how horrible it was for all those tigers, so you decide to go and liberate them, but not before dyeing my logo onto those tigers and setting them free in the wilderness. Just kidding, guys, don't set live tigers free. So that way all of animal control who have to clean up your mess will know of the good work done here on this channel.
Ow, son of a...
If you like videos like this, guys, you can support me over on Patreon, where $1 gets you access to 3 to 5 posts per week. And because I competed with tungsten guide rods for so long, I got a pure tungsten guide rod. This is the Gen 3 Glock 19 pure tungsten guide rod in here, which adds a little bit of heft in non-reciprocating weight to the muzzle of the gun. And what that gave me is an absolute fire breather. Because the grip is so much longer, I'm getting more leverage down at the bottom of the grip, and I have a slide which is not weight relieved. And on a 4-inch gun, that actually makes it feel a little bit softer. There's kind of a misconception that a lighter slide reduces reciprocating mass and reduces felt recoil. Unfortunately, that's not exactly true in the absence of a muzzle device like a compensator. With a compensator, it's 100% true. But without one, what ends up happening is the recoil is faster and it hits you in the hand harder. So what ended up happening is I built a gun now that I actually really enjoyed shooting. I shot more ammo than I had budgeted for this review because I was having such a good time shooting it. And a lot of that is due to how the frame is shaped and how it just sits in the hand. It is a great frame to hold onto, the traction is better, and the sculpt of the frame is more ergonomic, so you just get a very, very good purchase on the pistol. And the grip angle, which we haven't really talked about, is similar to the Glock grip angle. It's maybe a little bit different, but for the most part, you're gonna end up pointing the gun just like you would any other Austrian. So the GSX100 was a product that I was kind of hesitant to look at, but honestly, after experiencing, I can say that I actually would recommend this. And in fact, I've messaged some of my buddies and said, hey, if you've got an old Gen 3 19, this is probably what you should be doing with it. In fact, I do like this gun so much, I'm actually contemplating sending the slide off to get milled for a red dot, because I could actually see carrying this. Like, this is a very well put together gun. And I'm just using like an old parts kit for the lower. It's not even like a great trigger that I managed to put into the gun. It's just kind of what I had on hand. And even still, it was very fun to shoot, due largely to how well the frame was shaped. So if you made it this far, you owe me a like. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. YouTube has selected this video for you, and I want to tell you about how to shoot Glock straight in this video down here. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.